made a potato salad. This
Well, well, well. I think we made it to another Friday. Another Friday. Let me turn this other light on. Hold on real quick while I get my blanket on. Make sure y'all can see me. Y'all can. Alright, well, we've made it to another Friday, my people. There might be some bloopers I might upload to this, because when I first tried to do this, well, let's just say my niece woke up and interrupted the whole thing. But howdy day. I love my people. How you been? It's another Good Friday, baby. And you know what today is. It is Tay back with another movie break, baby. Back with another goddamn on episode. How y'all doing today? This is episode 8, baby. And if you need a quick little recap, episode 1 was Kimber. Episode 2 was Hello. Episode 3 was Mia Copel. Episode 4 was Divorce in the Black. Episode 5 was Who's Cheating Who. Episode 6 was The Deliverance. Episode 7 was Hotel Rwanda. I went through that like a breeze, baby. My brain somewhere worked today. But today's episode is episode 8. And this is kind of like a comedy romance, so it's not a too serious movie. So I don't think it'll take me that long to go through this breakdown today. Basically, we going over who made the potato salad. And I know what you're thinking. Tay, what the heck is that? Well, I just seen it on BET Plus and was like, hey, why not? I always seeing this one clip consistently, but I never watched the actual movie. And when I play this one clip, y'all know what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me play this clip.
Now scoop some up on your punk ass plate and shut the fuck up.
That right there is the famous clip to this movie. And like I said, I never watched the movie, so I never knew what it was about anyway. But as y'all know, I like to go down the character list and tell y'all who's who and who's doing what. So for starters, we have Jaleel White as Michael. We have Jenny Frederick as Ashley Jenkins. I think I said that correct. And then we got Clifton Powell as Jake Jenkins. We have Ella Joyce as Mrs. Jenkins. D-Ray Davis as Junebug. Eddie Griffin as Malik. Daphne Bloomer as Mookie. Michael Collier as Old Man. And RP to Tommy Lester Jr. And we have him in this movie as well playing Monster. Ronaldo Ray as Mr. Brown. BB Drake as Mrs. Brown. MC8 as T-Bone. Mark Chalant Pfeiffer as Ray Ray. Gary Owens as a police officer. Terrence Thomas as Little Ray. And Josie Thacker as Lupe. Now, a lot of these people, such as Gary Owens, Josie Thacker, Terrence Thomas, Michael Collier, they kind of had small roles. A lot of them in here really had small roles. The main character was really Clifton Powell, Jaleel White, Jenny, and Ella Joyce. Those was pretty much the main characters. Junebug, aka D-Ray Davis, played Ashley's brother. Now, this movie, once again, is a comedy romance. It got a 4.6 out of 10 on IMDb, a 76% rating on Popcorn Meter and Rotten Tomato. This movie was directed and written by Coke Daniels. That's an interesting name to have, sir. The budget for this movie was roughly like $1 million, but there was no evidence on what it actually grossed. I don't even think it came out in theaters, to be honest with you. It might have been straight to a DVD type of movie. I don't know. Couldn't find any real information on the movie for real. The movie's roughly about an hour and a half. To me, the movie is like a cross between Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and what was the other movie I thought of? And Soul Food. It sounds ironic, but it is. It's like a weird spoof. It's like a spoof of those two movies combined. But anyway, Michael, aka Jaleel, is playing a police officer who's dating Ashley Jenkins, which is Clifton Powell and Joyce's daughter, Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins. That's their daughter, and once again, Junebug's sister. He's playing this cop. In the beginning, it opens up with him chasing down bad guys, and one of the bad guys he catches, but they get into a little scuffle. The bad guy ends up winning, cuffing him to the playground equipment and taking his pants. The bad guy eventually gets caught anyway. Basically, it's like he's a not that great of a cop. Um, Hell, you could say this is a spoof of Beverly Hills Cop too. I don't know, but it's a spoof of a bunch of movies. From if you watch it, it's just so many different movies that runs through my brain when I watch this. When I watched the movie, I was like, maybe that one, maybe that one. But anyway, um, he's a cop. He's dating Ashley, and he wants to marry Ashley. So he does what men do when they want to marry somebody. Proposes. He proposes to Ashley, and Ashley's just like nervous for him to meet her family because they're a little rough around the edges. They're a little hood. They're a little ghetto. They're a little rough around the edges, but he wants to meet them. He's like, I want to marry you, so I need to meet the people who created you, which is respectable. Well, they get to L.A. Mr. Jenkins and Mr. Jenkins are there to pick up Ashley and Michael. And of course, Mr. Jenkins has to play this hardball game of I don't like you, can't stand you already, you're not good enough for my daughter. Typical black storyline. Um, and I believe this movie came out in 2001, by the way, y'all. Let me double check. Is it 2001 or I'm sorry, no. When did this movie come out? 2006, not 2001. Thinking of something else. This movie came out in like 2006, I want to say. But anyway, where was I at? Oh, so they meet him, pick him up from the airport, and of course her daddy's playing this I don't like you role. He's got to, play the tough dad role. So they are going to go put the stuff in the car. He don't want to speak to him at all. But they're going to go put the stuff in the trunk. He opens the trunk, and of course, all my people, if you know, you know. When they open up the trunk, there's a scare tactic in the trunk. Okay. They're putting the bag, well, Michael's putting the bags in the trunk, and out falls some condoms. So they like, oh, okay, I see what type of time we on. Well, they get in the car, they're heading to the house, and he asks Michael what he does for a living. Now I'm gonna play this small clip real quick. Okay, so then he tells him, as you seen, he tells him what he does for a living, and yeah, he wasn't too happy with that. He don't like cops. He don't like cops because he did some jail time for attempted murder on a police officer, but he would like to say he did, and that's why he don't like police officers. And plus, he was quote unquote a part of the Black Panthers. Well, basically, Michael goes down the tree hill of meeting family members. First, he meets Junebug, which is her brother, and Junebug takes him on some illegal adventures and does some illegal things in front of him. Once again, he's a cop, but Junebug don't know this yet. So Junebug eventually finds out he a cop, and he like, dang, you couldn't have told me. I've been out riding around with my, you know what I'm saying, and doing this, doing that. I've been riding around with the pokey. But yeah, then after that, he ends up meeting Little Ray Ray, Mookie, and Ray Ray. He ends up meeting them, and they all eating, having a good time. But actually, no, I'll take that back. Let me go back a little bit. Beforehand, they find out he don't like pork because he did eat the pork chops that their mama cooked. Now, what's ironic is he a cop. So Clifton Powell kept playing off of the fact he a cop. He was like, how a pig don't eat pig. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, well, I guess you wouldn't want to eat your own kind, which I think is how D-Ray found out that he was a cop because the illusion that he kept giving him about the pig eating pig. But anyway, so after that, he ends up start meeting people here and there. Like I said, he met Ray Ray, Mookie, and Little Ray Ray, and then later on down the line, he ends up meeting Mr. and Mrs. Brown, which is played by Ronaldo Ray and BB Drake. He ends up meeting them, which these are Mrs. Jenkins' parents, right? But in the midst of that, there's people who make appearances like Monster, aka Tommy Lester. He makes an appearance. He had a crush on her. He a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? And, whatever. But basically the whole premise of the movie was for Michael to get to know the family and try to win them over. That's why I say it's kind of like a Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, or no, but that movie came out after. Guess Who came out after this movie, I believe. Guess Who come out? I think Guess Who came out after this movie. But Guess Who is also a spinoff of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. It's not exactly the same movie. Oh no, guess who did come out before this? So that okay, there's a better example. This is like a spoof of Guess Who, and that's what this is like a spoof of that. And it might be where he got the idea from, but because I thought Guess Who came out in 2007, but I guess not. Came out in '05, and I should do that movie next. But anyway, um, he like I said, he meets each family member, and he kind of goes through these ups and downs, kind of like in Guess Who when Ashton Kutcher went through his ups and downs. But that's another. I'm gonna review that movie another time. But basically, in this movie, Michael goes through these trials of trying to, impress her father, get her father to like him, right? And when Mrs. Brown and Mr. Brown get to the house, Clifton Powell kind of has a moment where he kind of starts to realize that he's doing Michael exactly how Mr. Brown did him, because her father, Mrs. Jenkins, her father, Mr. Brown, don't like Clifton's character, Mr. Jenkins. Can't stand him. And that's what she was telling him when they was in the kitchen, and she was telling him, like, you kind of treating him the same way my daddy treated you, and you don't like that at all. Like, you ain't gonna do nothing but push her closer to him and further away from us. Like I said, kind of like a typical black storyline. But in the movie, they staying at the parents' house, right? So there was a scene where they was trying to get fresh, is what you would call it back in the day, and Clifton Powell had to let it be known, like, not in my house. You gonna sleep downstairs and she can sleep in her room. Yeah, I ain't doing just liking the other, Um, well, where was I at? There's a part in the movie where Michael stages a robbery so that he can try to look like the tough guy so he can make her father feel like that his daughter is safe and secure with him. Well, that backfired because they ended up beating the brakes off that white boy. And when they found out he staged it, they was like, dude, why would you? Like, what's going on? But rewind back. I'm going to go back. I just had to bring that part up because I was telling y'all, like, how him trying to win them over. Well, um, before that actually happened, there's a scene in the movie, and that little clip I showed y'all earlier that I said was the famous scene from that movie. Well, that's when they had dinner together, and that roasting session at that table was hilarious. But even then, you could tell he was struggling and fighting for acceptance, and it was like, dude, just be yourself. Like, you already know they don't like you because you're a cop, but just be yourself. And a lot of stuff he was doing to try to fit in, or a lot of stuff he was accepting, is what made it hard for them to accept him. Instead of him standing on business and being like, no, I don't eat pork. No, I don't do this. No, I don't want that. Y'all not gonna treat me like no punk. Like, instead, he was kind of like letting them get away with it, if you will. And it's like, dude, stand on some business. Be a man. And that's really what her father wanted to see from him, is him be a man, stand up, and don't let them just keep railroading you and making you feel like you got to do this or got to do that because they want you to. Well, time goes by, and like I said, the stage robbery situation happens, and they find out he staged it, and everybody disappointed in him, put him at the house, going about your business. And he goes back to work, and Gary Owen's character got a crush on Ashley, so he was like, oh, y'all broke up, she's single. Oh. But and like I said, the guy, there was a guy that's a cop as well. I don't know what his name is, but I swear I've seen him in other movies before. I just can't think of what other movies I've seen him in. But he was like the voice of reason for him, what I'm saying? He was, giving him good advice and whatever the case may be, and teasing him a little bit here and there. But um basically, and I'm running through this movie kind of quick because, like I said, it's a short. It's an hour and a half. It's not a real serious film. It's some you can watch if you get bored and you just want to see something, or if you want to see what the movie's actually about versus just that one clip. But anyway, um, they go through the motions and whatever, and basically, Mr. Jenkins goes to the job, talks to Michael, and lets him know, like, hey, I'm gonna give you my blessing to marry my daughter. I'm gonna give you the blessing. I don't know I was hard on you, and I get it. You were just trying to impress the family, but don't do that shit again. So it ends with basically them getting married and them living happily ever after. Now, first off, The movie's not super hilarious, but it is got some funny parts in it. Some of the funny parts was like the potato salad scene. That was definitely hilarious. The second one was when Grandma Brown and Mr. Brown go do the nasty and Junebug room. That was hilarious. Um, and then really, it was a bunch of random little spots in the movie that was hilarious to me at least. But anything that had BB Drake and Ronaldo Ray in it, them scenes was hilarious. Um, like I said, the Thanksgiving scene was the funniest scene. Um, I feel like the movie wasn't doing nothing but showing us how black families were back in the day, like the late '80s, early 2000s. Kind of showing us how black families were. Like, if we gonna be tough on you, we gonna make you, you know what I'm saying, work for it. We ain't gonna just give it to you easy, you know what I'm saying, which is understandable. Like, it shows a typical black father with his daughter, because not a lot of black fathers are just easily comfortable giving up their baby girl, you know what I'm saying, to a man. Now, the funny parts some of the other funny parts in the movie to me was with Eddie Griffin's character Malik, because he's in prison, and this video clip that he sent was hilarious. I'm gonna play it real quick. Hold on. Bro, Buddy was wilding. And like, if you watch the rest of the movie, there's another clip at the end that he does. Hilarious. Um Now, even after kind of explaining the movie and going over, I still don't get why it was called Who Made the Potato Salad. I don't know if that was just a joke of a name or what. I still don't get why it was called Who Made the Potato Salad. And if you understand why it's called Who Made the Potato Salad, go ahead and tell me in the comments why it was called that. But uh And the reason, okay, that's what I was gonna say. The reason why I said it reminds me of Guess Who and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and Soul Food, because it's kind of like in those movies where it's a spoof, shall I say, the spoof of this movie. Because in all of those movies, there was an outcast male in all of those movies. And Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, it was Sidney Poitier's character, and Soul Food, it was Mekhi Phifer's character. And then in Guess Who, it was Ashton Kutcher's character. They were all outcast men for some odd reason. Whether it be they was black, whether it be they was hood, whether it be they was white, or whether it be they was a popo. It was an outcast for some reason. And uh I don't know, just the movie, it was a fun time, something to bypass time. If you ever get bored and you like, let me just pop this movie on. Like I said, it's on BET Plus, I believe, right now. I think it's also on Tubi as well right now. BET Plus, they probably remain there. I don't think they take movies off of there, but Tubi, it might come off sooner or later. But you can always just look it up on YouTube and watch it too. Um, it was it was definitely a odd shift for me to watch that movie versus the movies that I originally watched. But like I said, it was kind of interesting. The Thanksgiving scene was probably the best part of the movie. Not going well, that and Eddie Griffin's video clips that he was sending, his videograms, those were probably the two funniest part in the movie. Um, it's not bad. I can see why I got a 4.6 though, but it's a low budget back in the day film. Um, I would say I would give it like a 5.4. I'll boost it up a little bit. Like I said, it's something to watch when you're bored, and like something just to watch. Like, if you're a movie connoisseur and you like to watch all different kind of movies, watch that one. Now, in the end of the movie, Michael's character said, and I quote, "We got married and lived happily ever after." Well, that is until the Jenkins Christmas. And I'm curious why he didn't make a spoof Christmas movie then. Keep it going. I mean, it's probably too late to do it now because some of those actors and actresses probably wouldn't want to do the movie right now. Plus, Ronaldo Ray has passed away, if I'm not mistaken, and Tommy Lester has also passed away. So it's kind of hard to do the film without having bring back some of those iconic characters. But I would do another spoof. Like I said, the movie 5.2. Definitely something to at least watch, especially black people, black culture. If you want to want to just see it just cause we all seen that iconic clip. I feel like everybody has at least seen that iconic clip at least. Um, who made the potato salad? Scoop something up on your punk ass plate. I'm sorry. That is the funniest thing. I do apologize if y'all feel like this one was rushed. There's not really much to talk about that film, unfortunately. It was just a film to me. You know, it wasn't a serious one. It had some comedic laughs, a little bit of romance, but it wasn't like a movie that you'd watch back to back or that you'll watch every day. It's probably one of those one-offs, like a boring weekend and y'all got a movie marathon going. Throw that one in the rotation and just get everybody's opinion on it. And if you rate the movie more, if you feel like the movie was better than what I said, then hey, that's your opinion. Um, but like I said, it was about a 5.2 rating, you know. But there'll probably be uh what's the word I'm looking for? There'll probably be another clip at the end of this, like random little clips from why like there was another video I shot before this one, but my niece is here and she kept waking up. So I'll probably throw a couple little clips of that situation and why I had to not rush this one, but why it, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. But there'll be some bloopers basically at the end for you. Um, so you can see, like, because she sleep right now. So that's why I'm able to do this. But nonetheless, I appreciate any and everyone who's been watching. Comment some movies for me. I'm gonna probably do another comedy next just because I like the comedy movies and I'm gonna learn how to break down the comedy movies a little bit better. I'm very good at breaking down serious movies, thrillers and stuff like that, but comedies is kind of hard to break down because they're meant to just be funny, you know, so it's not a whole lot to dig into a comedy movie sometimes, but then sometimes they're um underlining um light to be shed on certain movies. For example, in this movie, I feel like the underlying light to shine on this movie was that you can't judge somebody based on your past experience with someone. The daddy didn't like him because he was a cop, and that was a instant hell no for him. But he got to see that this man truly made his daughter happy, and just because his profession was a field that you didn't agree with doesn't mean that he's a bad person. Not everybody is a bad person. I don't think he was trying to necessarily dislike him because of who he was individually. It just was simply just because of his profession. So the movie to me was kind of like showing, oh, that's probably why it's called Who Made a Potato Salad, because you can't judge a book by its cover. Now, granted, the potato salad must have been nasty because didn't nobody like it, but they didn't. You can't judge the person who made it. I think that if that makes sense to y'all, I hope that does. But overall, you can't judge that one mistake up against everybody who's in that same field. So in other words, like her potato salad, it was bad last year, but that don't mean it's gonna be bad this year. Granted, her potato salad was bad the second year according to them. Um, but yeah, I think it's just, you know, maybe that's why it's called Who Made a Potato Salad, because you know not everybody can make good decisions. So maybe that's why it's called that. I don't know. There's so many different thoughts that's running through my head right now as to why it could be called that. If you can figure out and pinpoint exactly why it's called Who Made a Potato Salad, I give you $10. Send it straight to your Cash App. If you can do that. If you made it to the end of this video, comment down below and I might send you something. I might. I think when I hit episode 10, I think I'm definitely going to do something for somebody just randomly, you know, just put a comment. I'm gonna mention it in episode 10. We got 2 more episodes before episode 10. Once again, this was Tay with another movie break. This is episode 8. I appreciate y'all for watching. Enjoy. Peace, love, and prosperity. Like I said, I might throw a couple bloopers at the end. Y'all have a blessed one. Be safe. Peace out. Hold on, my niece woke up. I'm trying to shoot this video, cuz I can't have you crying and whatever. And then